Hey guys, welcome back to Chris is Losing It. Today I want to talk about a topic that's close to my heart, and that is friends and family and their reactions to low-carb diets. These diets are often seen as radical, even though there's mounting evidence supporting their benefits. But what happens when you share your choice to follow these diets with friends and family? Well, let me tell you, sometimes you can expect a lot of resistance. Recently, I had a pretty intense experience that really drove this point home. Over the past year or two, I've been making some really good friends at a co-working space where writers and freelancers gather. We often grab coffee together after our meetups, and naturally, the topic of my diet comes up from time to time. They know that I'm on the carnivore diet, where I eat only meat, no vegetables, no carbs at all if I can help it. But during our last coffee outing, the conversation took a turn that I didn't really expect, and it was pretty unpleasant. They've seen me eat just sausage and eggs at these brunch places many times, but this all started when they asked me about what exactly I eat and how the diet works. Now, these friends of mine are older, around 70, and while they're thin, that obviously doesn't mean that their eating habits are the healthiest. So I explained once again that I only eat meat, that's the intention, and they seemed shocked this time, especially when I mentioned that I don't eat any fiber or vegetables. So they started asking the usual questions like, how do you get your vitamins and minerals? How can this be healthy? Now, after many years studying keto and fasting, I was ready for their questions, as I've done a lot of research and I've heard these concerns before. I explained that carbohydrates, especially processed ones like flour and sugar, can lead to fat gain and are highly addictive. Low and no carb diets like the carnivore diet are anti-inflammatory, which is crucial because inflammation is a major risk factor for chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and even dementia. But then the mood shifted. One of my friends, who has a diet that's very high in carbohydrates, started to feel attacked. When I mentioned the dangers of processed carbs, he became defensive, angry even. He was upset because his diet includes a lot of sugary treats, and it seemed like he took my explanation as a personal critique. Even though I wasn't criticizing his diet directly, this guy couldn't help but feel that my words were an attack on his choices. Then there was my other friend, who asked about the implications of the carnivore diet for dementia. She was particularly concerned because she's lost loved ones to the disease. I told her that low-carb diets are anti-inflammatory and could potentially reduce the risk of dementia, but this only upset her even more. I think the idea that a diet might have helped her loved ones was too much to bear, and she became just as defensive as the guy. Despite my best efforts to explain the science and share my experiences respectfully, the conversation ended on a sour note. My friends were both visibly angry and upset when they left abruptly. I was left sitting there feeling like I had just lost two friends. Not because of what I had said, but because of what my diet represents. It's tough when people close to you aren't open to something you believe in, especially when it's something that's working so well for you. This experience highlighted a larger issue. Intermittent fasting and low-carb diets, despite the growing evidence supporting them, are often seen as extreme or radical. And when you decide to go against the grain, so to speak, you can expect resistance from the people around you. It's not just about food, it's about challenging deeply held beliefs and habits. For some, the idea that what they've been doing their whole lives might not be optimal is unsettling and even threatening. But here's the thing. The evidence in favor of intermittent fasting and low-carb diets is mounting. Studies have shown that these diets can lead to significant weight loss, improved metabolic health, reduced inflammation, and even potentially lower the risk of chronic diseases. For example, ketogenic diets have been found to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation markers. And while more research is needed, the results so far are promising. You know, I'm not a scientist, I'm only scientifically literate. But when I follow these diets, I feel good. When my insulin is low and I'm using my body fat, I feel better. So, if you're following a low-carb diet or thinking about starting one, know that you're likely to face resistance, maybe even from people you care about. It can be tough and it might feel lonely at times, but remember why you're doing this. You're making choices based on what you believe is best for your health, and that's something worth standing by. Don't let the doubts or fears of others shake your confidence. Many of their fears in the end are based on information that's been provided by the people who make and sell carbohydrates. So, thanks for listening to my story today. If you've had similar experiences, I'd love to hear about them. Drop a comment below and let's support each other on this journey. And if you're looking for more evidence-based information on low-carb diets, don't forget to subscribe for more tips, stories, and encouragement. See you next time.